The ceiling fan in my dorm room clicked like a metronome, slicing the still wet air while I sat on the edge of my bed, towel-damp hair dripping down the back of my neck. 9 p.m. on a Sunday that smelled of chlorine and cheap peach shampoo, and my phone buzzed against the mattress, one vibration, then two, urgent, the way a fire alarm would feel if it whispered instead of screamed. I didn't want to look. Final season had already chewed my nerves raw, and I'd spent the last 40 minutes under spray hot water pretending the steam could melt the dread I'd been carrying all weekend. Still, I swiped the screen. A single line from my best friend since sophomore year of high school glowed neon green. Serena, when did you and Lin Huai break up? I'm literally the last person on earth who should be finding out from Instagram. My pulse stuttered. I typed a question mark, deleted it, typed it again, sent. 3 dots danced, then disappeared, then danced back. Maybe I read it wrong? But, just go look. His newest post. Caption, with you. Tell me that's not IG official. The towel slid off my shoulders as I opened Instagram. The first photo on my feed was a square of summer night lit by rope lights. Lin Huai, my boyfriend of 2 years, the boy who still had a toothbrush in my plastic cup, grinning, 2 fingers thrown up in a mock salute. A girl I'd never seen had her cheek pressed to his, lashes curled, lips glossy, sunshine bottled into human form. They looked like the cover of a playlist titled Perfect Couple. Underneath, 6 letters pulsed, with you. A red heart emoji floated beside them like a period at the end of a sentence I hadn't known I was reading. I couldn't breathe. Not because I was shocked, because I wasn't. I'd felt him drifting for months, the way you feel winter before the first frost, texts that took hours, weekends too packed to drive down college, conversations that ended before they started. But I'd swallowed every doubt, telling myself love was psalmody. MES quiet, sometimes tired, sometimes just busy. Now the silence had a face, and she was prettier than I'd ever dared to imagine. My thumb hammered his name. 1 ring. 2. 3. Voicemail. Again. On the 4th try he picked up, voice lazy, background music thumping like a second heartbeat. Yeah? What the hell is your post? I managed, the words scraping my throat. A pause, then a chuckle. Serena, babe, relax. Department happy hour. I lost a party dare. Had to make it IG official with the first person who laughed at my joke. It's nothing. I'll delete it in 5. Nothing. The same word he'd used when he forgot our anniversary, when he bailed on my award ceremony, when I found mascara on his hoodie collar last March. I stared at the crack in my dorm wall, the one shaped like a lightning bolt, and felt it open inside me too. Don't bother deleting, I said. My voice sounded like it belonged to someone taller, someone crueler. Leave it. Let the whole campus watch you lie. I hung up before he could answer. Within seconds, WhatsApp notifications spilled down my screen, little gray squares promising dinner next weekend, promising a real date, promising he'd make it up on the Ferris wheel at Eastside. I turned the phone face down, as if that could muffle the ache spreading through my ribs like spilled ink. The dorm was too quiet, every creak of the bunk above me sounded like an accusation. I yanked on yesterday's jeans, a wrinkled Riverdale UT, and shoved feet into sneakers without socks. Foodie blinked neon 2 blocks south, oily, loud, alive. Perfect. Heat still clung to the pavement even at 10. Strings of red lanterns swung in the breeze, throwing tiger stripes of light across plastic tables. I ordered skewers I didn't taste and beers I couldn't afford, tipping the cashier the last 3 singles in my wallet. Foam splashed my wrist, I licked it away and pretended the bitterness was courage. By beer number 4 I was inventing new definitions for the word *anug. H*. Enough of waiting for texts that arrived 3 days late. Enough of pretending his indifference was a phase. Enough of shrinking myself to fit inside the lukewarm space he called love. I raised bottle 5 in a toast to the greasy moon and muttered, here's to not being enough. My own laugh startled me, it sounded scraped and hollow, like an old record left in the sun. Your grill skewers. The voice came from my left, low, calm, a glass of cold water in auditory form. I tilted my head and saw him, black apron tied narrow at the waist, hair the color of beach sand falling into darker eyes, cheekbones sharp enough to julienne vegetables. He set the metal plate down and didn't leave. Instead he folded his arms, studying me the way you study a chord you can't quite name. I blinked. You're from the library desk this afternoon. He'd checked out my stack of gender studies readers without looking up. Now, under marquee bulbs, I noticed a constellation of tiny scars across his left eyebrow. He nodded toward the beer forest in front of me. Maybe slow down. College security sent an alert, some creep's been flashing people near the laundromat. You shouldn't be trashed and alone. I snorted. I'm not alone. I have revenge. The word tasted smoky, delicious. I squinted at his name tag. Chase. So, Chase, how many jobs do you work? I've seen you in the library, the campus store, and now here. You're like the official campus hustler. He lifted one shoulder. Tuition doesn't pay itself. Money's money. Money's everything, huh? My tongue felt thick but operational. I fished my phone from my pocket, opened Venmo, and waved the screen at him. Pose for a picture, one shot, $50. Deal? His eyebrow arched, that scar stretching. Lady, you're drunk. Doesn't invalidate the contract, I sing-songed, already fumbling with the camera. The night blurred after that, like someone smeared the lens with barbecue sauce. I remember clutching his sleeve, smelling charcoal and citrus debt. Urgent. I remember him sighing, kneeling so our faces fit in the square of my screen, deadpan as a passport photo. I remember cackling at the result, me, mascara comet-tailed, lips curled, him, blank, resigned, tolerating my existential meltdown for $50 digital. Then, nothing. A blackout as thorough as a power outage, cut to static. Morning cracked open against my eyelids like a hammer. I lay in my own bed, covers twisted into nautical knots, throat full of sand and regret. Across the room, my roommate Melody hummed while painting her toenails flamingo pink. Rise and shine, Cinderella, she chirped. Your Prince Charming carried you home. Legs for days, jawline sharp enough to slice deli meat. He said you passed out mid-sentence. Lucky I met you in the stairwell. He looked ready to scale the outside wall if the RA hadn't buzzed him in. I groaned into the pillow. Please tell me I didn't drunk dial Lin Huai. Nope. Just Sergeant Hottie. He even tucked your ID back into your pocket. Said you kept slapping his hand away, yelling, evidence. I died a small death, then resurrected myself with coffee grounds and toothpaste. My phone buzzed on the charger, an unfamiliar profile picture, golden retriever with a red bandana. Chase. He'd sent the photo, my head lolling against his shoulder, his eyes twin eclipses of existential fatigue. Below it, a single line, so, Operation Revenge, what's phase 2? I winced, typed, asterisk thanks for the escort. Sorry for the emotional terrorism, asterisk I attached a Venmo transfer, another 50 for dignity extraction, and hit send. He accepted within seconds. Phase 2, he repeated, relentless. My fingers hovered. Did I spill the entire sordid saga between skewer 4 and 7? Apparently yes, because the next bubble he sent read, asterisk you kept shouting VMe 50 for the revenge plan, like a human Kickstarter. I invested. I want ROI asterisk I buried my face in the blanket, contemplated suffocation, then typed, asterisk abort mission. Drunk talk. Forget it, asterisk the 3 dots pulsed, vanished, returned. Finally, asterisk fine. But deleted scenes still exist. Keep the footage, asterisk I exhaled, changed his nickname from to Chase, campus, and scrolled through last night's call log just to be sure. No Lin Huai. Small mercies. But the sting of that photo, Lin Huai's arm around a stranger, still throbbed. I studied the picture Chase and I had taken, sterile, platonic, yet undeniably present. An idea flickered, dangerous and bright. I swallowed a breath, then tapped out, asterisk hypothetically, if I posted this, would you care? No faces tagged, no caption drama, asterisk his answer came faster than free pizza at a club fair, asterisk contract fulfilled. Do your worst, asterisk sunset bled across the quad, smearing the library windows rose gold when my phone erupted. Lin Huai's name glared on the screen, each ring a tightening screw. I stepped onto the narrow balcony, slid the glass door shut, and let the July evening wrap around me like a sweaty shawl. Serena, he snapped before I even spoke, what kind of game is this? You think posting some staged garbage makes you look mature? I pictured him pacing his frat porch, barefoot, jaw clenched the way it did when professors returned failing midterms. I let the silence stretch until even the cicadas sounded awkward. It's just a picture, I said, copying his own cadence from 24 hours earlier. Friends hanging out. Nothing intimate. Why so uncomfortable? His inhale hissed through the speaker. Look, I get that you're hurt. I already apologized. But throwing yourself at random guys, random? I laughed, and the sound surprised me, silver, ringing. You're right. I'm hurt. You made me hurt in public. Now I'm soothing that hurt in public. Symmetry, babe. You're being childish, he gritted. Take it down before people start talking. People already talk, I said softly. Difference is, now I'm steering the conversation. A pause crackled between us, thick with static and the smell of cut grass drifting from the sport's fields. You want me to beg? He tried a laugh, it came out brittle. Fine. I'm sorry about the dare. I deleted it. Come on. Let's go to East Side next weekend, ride the Ferris wheel like we used to. We'll laugh about this later. The memory he dangled, me tucked under his arm at the carnival, city lights trembling beyond the spokes, rose like a bruise. I pressed my free hand to the balcony rail, feeling the metal's retained warmth. I don't want to be 20 stories in the air with someone who lets me fall on solid ground, I said. My voice trembled, but I let it. We're done, Lin Huai. You announced that yesterday. I'm only making it official. He swore under his breath. You'll regret this. Remember last time you broke up with me? You lasted 3 days. Watch me last forever, I answered, and ended the call before his reply could scar the night. Beyond the railing, campus lights blinked on one by one, tiny witness fires igniting across Riverdale. I stared at them until my reflection ghosted over the glass, mascara half gone, chin lifted, eyes wide, afraid, but blazing. For the first time in years, the girl looking back belonged only to me. I'm not like you, plenty of people want me. Don't come crawling back. I hung up before the drama could drag on. He was right, he'd always been the popular one. Stand us side by side and most people wouldn't guess we were a couple. Every time we'd broken up before, I'd been the one chasing after him, begging to make up. So of course he assumed this round would end the same way. Not this time. This time was different. When snow piles high enough, it avalanches. Feelings work like that, too. After enough disappointments, you stop waiting for miracles. For the next 2 weeks I ran myself ragged. Stay busy and there's no room for anything else. Suddenly he was spamming Instagram, shots of him partying with friends, competing on the court, playing basketball. And in every single photo, the same girl gazed at him like he invented Dale. After our old fights, he'd pulled this stunt before. Broadcast his popularity, spark my jealousy, nudge me to come running. He'd remind me how lucky I was that someone so wanted picked me. And I always played along. This time I just muted him and went on with my day. Cole's call found me polishing slides for a contest. Serena, Huai's wasted, could you come get him? Cole was his roommate, he'd once bumped into us on a date and figured out we were together. We're broken up, he didn't mention it? Silence, then a careful, you know how stubborn he is. He's really drunk. Just do him this solid, clear the air so a dumb misunderstanding doesn't wreck everything. Misunderstanding? I almost laughed. You guys go to the same school, haul him home. Why call an off-campus ex? More fumbling on the line. My teammate waved for me. Gotta go, I'm busy. Right before the call cut, I swear I heard his voice. Cole lowered the phone and looked at the guy on the couch, stone cold sober, eyes blazing. She's not coming, Cole muttered. Fine, he snapped. Stay gone, see if I care. Just don't come begging later. 2 weeks since the breakup and she still hadn't shown up. In every past fight she'd reappeared within days, apologizing, and he'd let her crawl back. Serena never could resist him. But half a month had passed now. A knot twisted in his gut, anger, panic, something unfamiliar. Could she actually be into that guy in the photo? No way. Serena was crazy about him, she'd always forgiven everything. That picture had to be a cheap ploy to make him jealous. He'd even offered her an out and she'd slammed the door, embarrassing him in front of Cole. Fine, he thought, clenching his fist. Ignore the olive branch and we'll see who caves first. Mid-June, my contest finals were scheduled at Eastbrook. When the invitation came, I hesitated. Eastbrook was his turf. Splitting up hadn't magically made me eager to bump into him. Running into an ex is like stepping in dog poop. But I brushed the thought aside. I'd earned my spot in the finals, no guy was worth forfeiting that. On contest day our school van rolled onto Eastbrook's campus. The heat was brutal, so we huddled under a big oak, waiting for our coach. Chase was there in a black tee, leaning against the trunk, clean and cool. Only during prep meetings did I realize we'd landed on the same team. Working together had turned us into low-key friends. I lifted a hand, he nodded, shifted his long legs, and freed up a chunk of shade. I slid right in. Thanks, this sun is murder. Frequent customer discount. Before I could close my eyes, he leaned over. No enemies here, right? Because if bullets fly, I don't want to catch one meant for you. I glared, he zipped it, then unzipped. Oh, it's romantic. Dude behind you can't stop staring, pure longing, very swoony. And yeah, he's hot. Familiarity's downside, non-stop roasting. I rolled my eyes, looked back, and froze. Murphy's Law in action. There he was, surrounded by buddies, Cole, 2 roommates, and the Instagram girl glued to his side. Cole was mid-joke, everybody cracked up except him. His eyes, bright, locked on me, burned. The group followed his gaze. Noticing my face, Chase finally deployed what little EQ he owned. He angled his shoulders, blocking most of the stare down. But Cole had already spotted me, grinned, and whispered to him. So he draped an arm around the girl, flashed her a gentle smile, then shot me a look that screamed, "See? Plenty of options besides you." My fists curled. Jerk had a PhD in provocation. I refused to play. I turned back, reviewing my notes. Chase shifted again, cutting off every last glare. Guilt nibbled at him, he'd cracked the joke that set this off. After a brief battle between profit and conscience, he sighed and patted my shoulder. "Kill it out there. And if that revenge plan of yours is still live, I'm in, no invoice." I side-eyed him. Idiot solidarity confirmed. The second my presentation ended, I darted out, desperate to rejoin my teammates before he cornered me. No luck, he'd somehow mined the schedule and waited by the exit. He closed in. "So this is your grand silence act. Cute. But Serena, I won't forgive you so fast this time. You know I'm hot property, so." I stepped around him mid-sentence. "You finished? Cool, I'm out." Confident smirk cracked, disbelief leaked through. "Aren't you here to apologize?" "I'm here to compete. Kindly don't interrupt." "Right, like it's coincidence you show up at my school right after we split. You never showed before. Beg now and I'll take you back. Otherwise, doors closed for good." Back when I first signed up for the contest, I'd be lying if I said I didn't have an ulterior motive, Cole. But right now I glanced at my watch. "Do me a favor and stay away. We're broken up, and I'm in a rush." He clearly hadn't expected those words, his eyes went wide. Then, unable to stop himself, he lunged to grab my wrist. Another hand blocked him. Chase stepped out from behind me, his grip clamping Cole's arm before it could reach me. "Keep your hands off a student from our school." He flicked me a look that told me to step back. Cole squinted, the face in front of him felt way too familiar. He'd thought so under the tree earlier, and up close it clicked, this was the guy in that recent photo with Serena. The picture had been dim, the features were blurred. In daylight the man's good looks were unmistakable, polished, effortless, a different species of handsome. It felt like a public slap, jealousy surged, ugly and hot. "So you're the clown who posed with my girl just to piss me off? Our mess doesn't need outsiders butting in." He bit down hard on outsiders and butting. Chase arched a brow. "Pretty sure you're the outsider here. We go to the same school, we're here for the same contest." "You? Just an ex who can't take a hint." Ex beats stranger. "At least we had history, what exactly are you two?" Chase flashed a grin. "The most solid relationship on earth." Cole blinked. "What key and D is that?" Chase looked him up and down, amused. "Want the answer? Pay up." Cole almost exploded. More people were gathering, so he lunged again, trying to haul me away. I flung him off. When Chase and I left, Cole stood there for ages, staring at his empty hand. Fingers opened, closed, nothing inside, something slipping out of his life for good. The hollowness felt so real he couldn't move, dread ballooned inside him. By the time he snapped out of it, we'd vanished. Once we'd shaken Cole off, I thanked Chase. He gave me a lazy sideways glance. "I caused the mess, I clean it up. Plus I took your money, job's not done till it's done." Then, choosing his words carefully, he added, "I overstepped just now, but the guy really isn't worth it." "What do you think he is, then?" He replayed the scene in his head and rattled off, womanizer, hothead, major ego, short version, bad news. I burst out laughing. Spot on. That's exactly how I read him now. "Oh, what was that most solid relationship again?" When he'd said it, Cole wasn't the only one confused. "Easy, cash. We're bound by the almighty dollar." Bahaha. "Looks like forcing that 50 on you was genius. Any friend who needs a fake boyfriend, I'm sending them your way." "I meant small, easy gigs." He took it somewhere else. Chase cracked up. "So I moonlight as the professional other man? Did you see his eyes? Guy wanted to gut me for trampling every moral known to mankind." "That dramatic?" I'd stared at my watch so hard the glass should have cracked, never once met Cole's gaze. "Totally. He wanted me dead." I waved a hand. "Fine, dinner on me." "Thanks, boss. You're the best." This tall slab of muscle actually shouted like a 3-year-old, hilarious. In the end my wallet stayed shut, Chase paid before I could. Gotta pay for my own screw-ups sometime. Back on campus I erased every trace of Cole, photos, chats, voice notes. The past month had been insane, and I'd been hiding from the cleanup. Now I opened each thread and deleted any byline. When I hit our high school selfie, I paused. Memory flooded in whether I wanted it or not. In the picture, he smiled at the camera, but his eyes rested on me alone, like I was the only treasure in the world. Truth is, he'd already changed, I just hadn't wanted to see. Back then, coal burned so bright that afterglow kept me blind while everything rotted underneath. Decay doesn't happen overnight. Termites chew the core until bugs crawl out and you finally notice the wood's hollow. It started when fights ended with him name-dropping other girls to spite me. It grew when he never told friends we were together yet kept posting Instagram shots with chicks in bikinis. It crystallized when Busy shrank our date night from weekly to monthly while his party streak stayed nonstop. When did the shift begin? Sophomore year, year 2 of official dating. Out of nowhere he asked why I never wore makeup. All the girls he knew did. I glanced at the sticky midsummer heat outside. I could do makeup, I just didn't want to live in melted foundation. I never said that. While we talked, a stylish girl wandered up and asked for his WhatsApp. In the mall's mirrored wall I saw us, realized how visually off-pair we looked. People rarely guessed we were a couple. So I caved. I learned the whole routine, layers of base, heavy falsies, the works. It was exhausting, but Cole beamed. See? So much better. Isn't makeup supposed to be for yourself? Why was I so tired? Much later I understood, I wasn't painting my face for me. I was doing it for his smile. One muggy day I skipped it, humidity was brutal. He didn't complain, just canceled the friend party plan and sulked through our mall stroll. Message received. Gradually we met less, texted less, maintaining a ghost relationship, until he finally made it IG official with someone else and the mirage shattered. PE skill test coming up. I was on the court practicing basketball. I'm not athletic, nothing sporty has ever come easy. Yet here I was. Stuck in basketball elective. When the place was packed I was too shy to dribble, so I waited until dusk and copied YouTube clips alone. Ball and hands ignored every command, nothing like the video. Maybe I'm wired to fail at things I wasn't born for: basketball, love, self-belief. I couldn't master layups, couldn't delete the creeping inferiority Cole left behind. I could trash the chat, block his number, avoid his street, yet the bruise of not enough lingered. He stole my faith, my certainty. I could slap his hand away, but I still couldn't meet his eyes. I'm still scared. Ending a relationship isn't a clean snap. If it were, I'd have walked out after the first big fight. Instead I sank deeper. When the wound finally ulcerated, treatment meant carving out flesh and skin. A dull, constant throb. No matter how many drills I run, this class will probably end with a bare pass grade. An A was never in the cards. Another miss, ball clanging off the rim. I exhaled, ready to quit, until laughter rang out behind me. Chase leaned against an east side shade tree, watching long enough to lose the battle with hilarity. I'll teach you. Forget it. The air was sticky hot and my mood was a mess. I just wanted the awkwardness to end. It's quick. Your hand position's off. He stepped over, nudged my elbow higher. Try lofting it from here. I was skeptical, but I lobbed the ball. It still missed the rim, yet bounced a lot closer. You keep shooting. I'll chill over there and holler if I see a glitch. He ambled back to the tree and slouched against the trunk. By late afternoon my touch showed up. I rattled in shot after shot. Turns out I really could do it. I spun around to thank him and found him asleep, back pressed to the bark. I inched closer, debating whether to wake him, when Chase's eyes blinked open. Done practicing? Yup. Hope of an A in PE had me giddy enough to joke. After all this coaching, guess I owe you a fat Venmo transfer. Not necessary. Then what is this, Shari? Ty. I was floored. The guy who monetizes every spare minute was giving something away. Campus lore says he's pure hustle. When he isn't in class he's flipping sneakers or delivering grill skewers. Ask why he needs so much cash and he shrugs. I just like money. My roommate once sighed that he's wasting a runway model face. If he weren't obsessed with dollars, he'd probably star in some big campus romance. Back then I barely knew him, so the comment slid off me. Now he's right here, dark eyes skating across my face. Think of it as after-sales service, no charge. Most things look impossible until you try. They're never as tough as you imagine. Okay. I went quiet. Had he sensed my mood that day? I made it light. Don't you think Cole and I look weird together? In high school people joked that I'd snagged him on clearance. He studied me. 2 eyes, 1 nose, 1 mouth, what's the difference? You're fine. Cute, actually. Final season hit, review packets, practice tests, all-nighters ping-ponging between the library, lecture halls, and my dorm. Friday, I finished an exam and finally exhaled, until a text from Chase made me jumpy. I grabbed my bag and hurried to the campus just off college. Cole was waiting outside. He pointed to a corner table. "Text if you need me. I'll be here." Inside, a girl with puffy eyes sat waiting. Guilt and sorrow swam in her gaze, no resentment. She was the one who'd popped up on Cole's Instagram. Strangely, my chest loosened, the dread I'd carried all week drained away. She introduced herself, then asked, "You and Cole were together, right?" "Yes, past tense. We've broken up." "Because of me?" "I'm sorry. I didn't know he had a girlfriend. If I had, I wouldn't have gone after him." I shook my head. "It wasn't your fault. We cracked way before you appeared, and he was selling the single guy brand." At first I'd blamed her, but time showed me she's another casualty. From her side she was only chasing someone she liked, bravery that's rare and PR. Ishus. We talked for hours. She said she'd noticed the way Cole looked at me that day, and doubt crept in. Later events confirmed it. She felt wrecked, her romance dead before it started, then furious at his lies, then buried under guilt for hurting another girl. If learning he had a girlfriend hurt this much, she said, how badly did it sting you, the actual girlfriend? That's why she insisted on apologizing face to face. The only culprit here is Cole, I told her. Don't beat yourself up. I was scared she'd carry scars like mine, but she grinned and flicked her hand. One jerk isn't going to make me doubt myself. As you said, he's the problem, not me. When I walked out, Chase was leaning by the door. How'd it go? Thanks. That conversation untied knots in both our hearts. She'd said, if a random lunatic calls you psycho on the street, you don't actually become psycho. The lunatic's the sick one. You stay you, your worth doesn't change. Her words nailed the last missing piece into place. The self-doubt Cole planted started to crumble, and a new heart grew in its stead. I saw Cole again at graduation. Over the past 2 years the girl and I became friends. We grab iced lattes on Foodie and she occasionally updates me on Cole, how he cut classes, failed credits, missed grad school, and got shredded on the campus gossip forum. The golden boy is tarnished. Seeing him in person proved the rumors true. Same face, but dimmer, shoulders folded in. "Can we take a picture together?" he asked, almost pleading. I shook my head. He half expected it, gave a bitter laugh. "So you're with him now? That's why you dumped me and blocked me?" I met his eyes. "Still deflecting blame, huh? Can't admit you screwed up? Love isn't a farmer's market, you don't ditch the tomato because you spot a prettier pepper. I'm not Produce." He clenched his fists. "If I'd never posted that photo, would we still be together? I left because you're trash, pure and simple. Nobody else factored in." His mouth op. Eamed and closed, no sound. I turned to go. He croaked, sorry, voice small, eyes glassy, looked almost genuine. But who cares anymore? I kept walking toward the gate where my cab waited. By then I'd snagged my offer to fly abroad. Departure day was flawless sunshine. Chase waited at the archway, rolled my suitcase toward the Uber. "Let's roll." We swear nothing will ever change, yet everything does. The romance we thought would last forever, the shots that refused to drop, the self-loathing we couldn't shake, all relics now. All I ever lacked was the guts to take the first step, accept failure, accept betrayal, accept the whole messy package. I'm not afraid anymore, and Cole can't dent my mirror. That breakup? A speck on the glittering map of my life. Thanks for listening. If you liked the story, smash like and share it with a friend. Drop your take in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more. See you next time.